this is Micah. I'm here with Buddha. Say hello, Buddha. He's in the bamboo and he will be meditating with us while we discuss our next Ask Micah question. It's an excellent question from a young woman who wants to ask about jealousy with an ex. So, the more specific part of the question is basically if you remain friends after being with an ex, how do you manage jealousy when they hook up with an ex or with someone else, I should say? And that's a good question because a lot of people work on maintaining friendships after them and a romantic partner may part ways. Oftentimes we decide that some expectation or idea we had of what we could be with someone else just isn't going to happen. That's not the kind of love we are meant to have, or not anymore at least. But we want to maintain some kind of a friendship because there's no bitterness or animosity, and we don't want to sever ties quite that quickly because there's not any real need to. So we maintain friendships, and sometimes it helps us do things that we would really prefer not to do because of our needs or whatever. It's sometimes a little more secure to go to someone we're familiar with. And I'm going to assume that by hookup, we're talking about sex here. So it's good to have those honest conversations about sex, who we're being physically intimate with potential partners as well as former partners we may still have the opportunity to have sex with. And, but maybe have a dialogue before potential other physically intimate people come into the picture saying, this is where we're at, are we okay with it? How much are you comfortable with discussing? If everybody's being safe and protecting themselves, then we shouldn't really have a need to discuss partners that we're having. If someone's bringing up a partner or a sexual relationship with you and they still want to be physically intimate with you, that's a little suspect to me. I think that sometimes they're fishing, maybe, and women and men can equally do this, but you can fish for maybe jealousy out of the other person. And it's kind of normal to feel that because when you're reminded, like if somebody's becoming more intimate with someone that you had strong feelings for, maybe you thought you could be something that you're not going to be, and you've accepted that consciously, but your heart is still healing from that. You don't need to discuss it. Maybe have ground rules ahead of time that if anything becomes more physically intimate, if sex with other people is not protected or safe, if romantic feelings start to come into the picture with other people, then it's time to pull back and just not interact quite as intimately with a former lover, partner, etc. I think that healthy boundaries is the most important thing. And then the last thing I want to touch on is what is it that is triggering you to be jealous? Maybe you're not having these, like they're not physically intimate with someone else, regardless of whether they're having sex with other people or not. But if they discuss the possibility or they're discussing people that they're seeing or interested in, and you're triggered, notice what it is that triggers you and then put your boundaries, set your boundaries and say, you know what, I'm not ready for this conversation yet. I appreciate our friendship. I love that we can talk about XYZ, but when it comes to this topic, I'm on a need to know basis, really. If it's going to affect my physical, emotional, or spiritual health, I don't need to know any of that. So I think that having healthy boundaries, recognizing what triggers you and not lashing out at the other person, but actually noticing it and then sharing, look, this isn't healthy for me to hear, this isn't healthy for me to discuss. I can't be that person that you talk about such and such with anymore because I feel jealousy, and I know that it's not appropriate to feel that way, maybe because our relationship isn't this anymore, but I still feel it. My heart's still healing. And usually, like in all of my interactions with men, I haven't had an issue when I'm honest and clear about how I'm feeling, and I don't project onto them or tell them you should feel this way or why don't you feel that way, or if I don't expect them to feel anything or tell them how they're feeling, or then everything goes really smoothly. Just own how you're feeling, what your boundaries and limits are, and if they lash out at you because you've set boundaries, then that means that they're not recognizing what's triggering them and they still have an expectation of you. And they need to figure that out. And it's best to not get all wrapped up in that. Just step back, say, look, obviously this upsets you, but this is where I'm at, and take it or leave it. It really has to be that clear sometimes. And they might need a little more time than you do to recognize what they're feeling and thinking, but they usually come around if they feel the relationship, as far as a friendship is concerned, is really worth it. I hope that helps, and look forward to future Ask Micah videos, and post any future questions below, or you can message me at missmicah.com under guidance. Thank you so much. And Buddha and I would like to say namaste, in love with each other. Whatever love that means, it's okay.